So I moved back to New York in the fall of 2001, and like about 70% of Manhattan, I was single. So I registered on just about every dating site that was pertinent to me. And 6 months later, met a young lady. 3 months later, we were engaged after meeting, and then we got married. And I thought, any technology that can find me a wife is a killer app. But the problem is that for most of us, excluding Tiger Woods, once you're done dating, you're done. You have no further need for the technology. It was apparent to me that online dating was incredibly powerful. 40 million Americans per month use online dating sites. 90% of them are single. But I realized that this technology had even more applicability in business, where all of us want lots of clients, lots of partners, lots of investors. So I started thinking about how you can use this technology for business, and wrote a book back in 2005 on this topic, how you can use what at the time we called social software for sales, raising capital, looking for investors, and so on. So I'm going to talk about how we can use online dating as a model for companies you can build working with business people. Let me first define the social web. It's defined as people interlinked and interacting with engaging content in a conversational and participatory manner via the internet. I think of it as broader than just social media. It's the socialization of the entire internet. For a presentation to TEDx, I have to have at least some math because we have a lot of engineers, computer scientists, finance people here. So this is the only formula. But it's not critical to understand it for those who don't want to. So this is a 7-part formula breaking down the different components of your business and personal network. And I'm going to talk about how people are using these technologies to grow each of the variables in this formula. First is your character. You want to date, you want clients, you have to be someone of integrity. So traditionally, how do you grow your character? Well, try and be a better person, right? Read the 7 habits, read the religious text of your choice. Online, we have the advantage of technology that make it easier to check on your character. True.com. You can verify that a person is single. You can verify he has no criminal record. You can verify his age. Pretty helpful if you're looking to meet someone. In the business context, companies like Identified.com, and I should mention that quite a few of these companies are portfolio companies of ours. Identified allows recruiters to use Facebook to source talent in a rigorous quantitative way to identify the most attractive candidates, and makes it easier to reference check and find out why did you really take that semester off from college. Next is your competence. How good are you at what you do? So traditionally, how do you build your competence? You go to a pedigree school. You go to a pedigree company. You get training at a large brand name. In a dating context, maybe you join a site like beautifulpeople.com, which verifies you are beautiful. I tried to get in, didn't let me. In a dating context, for many, that is competence, although of course if beauty correlated with marital success, Hollywood would have a better success rate in the relationship department. In the business world, a site like Voxy, which is a mobile-first language learning application, makes it easier to learn new languages. You're walking down the street, you're a Spanish speaker looking to learn English, and you're in a bank. It will teach you banking-related vocabulary. So you're getting the competence, you're getting the skill, and your scores on Voxy as you progress are something that you can display to a recruiter and say, I am this level of competence in a foreign language. Much easier to do that at your convenience than to spend 2 years going and getting an MBA. Next is relevance. So you're dating, who's relevant? People of a certain age, certain gender, certain race for many people. That's who you want to connect with, and everyone else is a waste of time. I always hated this idea of meeting people at bars because half the people are the wrong gender, and most of the rest are the wrong height, age, whatever, philosophy, and I'm not interested, and I don't want to waste my time. So in a business context, you want to avoid cold calls. Everyone hates cold calls because you know you're wasting your time most of the time that you make cold calls. In a dating context, you like to smoke pot, who's relevant for you? Other people who like to smoke pot. Go to 420 Singles, not a portfolio company. And you can meet some relevant people for you. In a business context, what this technology allows you to do is substitute financial capital for social capital. Go to an expert network, and I was formerly CEO of an expert network, pay them some money, they will introduce you to relevant people who will give you the information you're seeking. You're looking for a photographer, go to 500 Pics. see some of the most beautiful photographs in the world, and you could look for photographers who have expertise in what you're looking for. Certain geography, certain type of subject matter. They will have the right photographer for you, and you can see their work and evaluate their relevance and competence for you. Next is strength. The stronger your relationships with people, the better. Makes sense. So traditionally, how do you grow strength? Well, you have a lot of meals with people. You never eat alone, to quote the book by Keith Ferrazzi. You have a lot of phone calls with people. Very laborious. Online, go to How About We. Your idea of a dream date is to go get a drink at Jimmy, the rooftop bar at the James Hotel, with someone who loves national pizza. This is the guy for you, right? He is he is someone with whom you can build a high-strength relationship. If any of you want to go out with him, I want to be invited to the wedding. So in a business context, how do you build strength with customers? Local Response, another portfolio company. Local Response works by tracking publicly available data about what you're doing. So say you're a restaurant in this neighborhood, and someone walks by you and tweets, "I'm hungry, does anyone know where I should go?" You can immediately get a pushed out coupon saying, "Go to this restaurant, get a 20% discount." It's very easy to build a high strength relationship when that person has an immediate need for what you're selling. Next is information. A relationship is not actionable unless you have a way of reaching out to the person. You need their phone number, you need their email. In the old world, that was a little hard. You had to collect business cards, put it in a Rolodex. Most people don't bother to do that. So the internet and the social web makes that much easier. You have an STD, you're honest enough about it to tell people. You want to date other people with the same STD. STD Strip makes it happen. Not a joke site as far as I can tell. Not a portfolio company. So that's in the dating context. In a business context, a company like Hashable is building a social CRM system. So you can pull in just an email from someone and tie in social network data, like their LinkedIn profile and other data. So you have all this information in one place. That makes it easier to track the people in your network, whether that be for your business or personal purposes. Next is a number of people in your network. And there's clearly a trade-off here between strength and number, right? Because you can't possibly have a large number of relationships and have high strength with them. Bill Clinton tries, even he has his limits. So historically, how do you do that? Well, you meet a lot of people. You go to a lot of conferences. Shake hands. Fine. Online, go to a site like Igniter. It's a group dating website. It allows you to form a small group date of people in the right bracket for you. All go out, low stress, informal, and hopefully some of the people there are going to be fit for you. In a business context, think near. So think near helps a business to optimize their inventory. Going back to that local restaurant in the neighborhood, their slow period is 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. ballpark. They would love to fill up their space. Every restaurant has this problem. So think near helps to identify customers who are appropriate for that business, available during that time period, helps them to make maximum use of their inventory of space, time, and resources. That helps bring in a greater number of customers. Last is diversity. So this sounds very politically correct, but it's backed up by the academic research. If you're a real estate broker and you're selling primarily to New York area finance professionals, not only do you have all the real estate problems, but in the past few years, you've had the problems of Wall Street going through shrinkdown. You're much better off if your business is diversified by industry, by gender, by all the other variables you'd think about. So historically, you're very restricted. First of all, people tend to socialize homogeneously. They date homogeneously, they live in homogeneous neighborhoods. That's just how humans operate. But even if you're trying to interact in a more diverse manner, you're limited by your geography, by social restrictions. Online, easier. Go to interracial signals. You can, if you're interracial yourself, you'll find people who want that in a spouse or a partner. You can date across racial lines because the people on the site, they're specifically looking to date diversely across racial boundaries. Ashley Madison brings together two very different groups, married guys and or hopefully non-married women looking to have an affair. Not a portfolio company. I did a little research on them. I made sure my wife was not looking at the screen because it just does not look good. Very successful business. We couldn't invest. It just, Doesn't look good. In a business context, InfoChimps, a marketplace for data. So InfoChimps allows you to bash together different data sets and identify correlations and other ways of using that data. For example, you could take the Crunchbase database of technology startups, cross it against your customer database, and then see how large are the companies in your existing CRM system. That allows you to prioritize your sales effort towards the companies that are the right geography, industry, size for your particular purposes. So I've posted the slides at teten.com/dating, and I'll be around at the reception if you want to talk further. I hope you're all very successful in your dating and your business activities. Thank you.